The Money School podcast is brought to you by Anchor, where you can create, distribute, and monetize your own podcast for free. You can create on your computer or, like me, on your phone. Anchor will distribute your podcast on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can make money from your own podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome to the Money School podcast. Today is Tuesday, August 11th, 2020. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the Money School podcast. A lot going on. As always, it seems all these days are hectic and crazy and have a million headlines to get to. First and foremost, we saw the end of the rally in metals, pretty steep sell-off in gold and silver. Yesterday's podcast talking about how that space felt pretty crowded. We saw a risk-on day where a lot of the growth names sold off, and you had a continued rotation into value. And with that, gold, silver, Bitcoin all sold off. The dollar's kind of stabilized. It is sitting at the same point it's been at. It stopped its free fall, and it continues to kind of rattle around where it's been at. So a little bit of cooling off in the metal space. Stocks were overall up today. Tech was down. A lot of the stuff that was leading was beating up energy stocks, MGM, some of the recovery trades. Russia announced that they have a vaccine that they really haven't tested on anybody, but they're just, going for it. But then tonight, Trump signed a deal with Moderna for 100 million doses of a potential vaccine. It seems like the news on the vaccine front has become increasingly positive, and it seems like there's some breakthroughs going on there. That seems great. As soon as we get some positive news there, we're going to have a big lift. The market just really needs to believe in it. And so far, what has come out, especially out of Russia, has been largely disregarded as not something to, put all of our eggs in that basket yet. So, I don't want to be cynical and, assert that they're doing it for political reasons. There's enough of that going on. If they have something that works, I hope it works. I hope it works, and it's something that can relieve this situation that we're dealing with. Who knows if that's true or not. But either way, it seems like we're making good progress on the vaccine front. And with COVID, obviously when people are losing their lives, any number is too high. We're still taking a lot of precautions as a country. Today they announced that college football is canceled in a couple of the conferences. That is just indicative to me in terms of the disruption that we're going to have with traveling and some of the social parts of life for the next 6 months or so. That doesn't mean the stock market or the economy can't continue to recover, but there's going to be pockets that are hurt by this, and especially the small cities. And for a couple years of my life living in Eugene and going to football games there, and then going to college in Pullman and going to football games there, how much those weekends mean to those communities and the people that have small businesses there and hotels and restaurants, and not having the students back and not having the traveling and the alumni and all of that. It's really sad and heartbreaking it's something that's been a part of my life personally, and I've gotten to see a lot of the country traveling and going to different sporting events with my family. It's something that's been, central to what we've done as a group, and that's something that I know that come this fall, it'll be weird when we don't have that sense of community. So that's one of the things that I'm actually kind of worried about moving forward into the second part of the year is people we have an intense election coming up that's going to put a lot of pressure on a lot of our community and family and, personal relationships. And that's going to add stress to just the psyche of the country. And it's going to be anything that we don't have, any familiar thing that we don't get to enjoy over the next 6 months is going to feel especially impactful. And hopefully those are just delays and we can, reorganize everything as a society and kind of keep some sense of normalcy. But it feels to me like we're starting to get to a tipping point of really understanding that this fight with COVID is going to take longer than people expected, and the disruption to life and the school year and, elementary, middle, high school, college years. I mean, we're talking about just massive disruption and, what we're going to do in terms of supporting not just the students, but the parents that are now being disrupted with their ability to obviously go and earn income and now having to become teachers at home. And then I'm curious to see how this plays out over the next bit in terms of young people, 18 years old going to college. If they can't go and it's all online, are they just going to join the workforce for the next, couple of years and wait on that decision while they, maybe do stuff online? Or, there a lot of people are not going away to school and they're staying put. I wonder if that's going to translate into just a jump to the workforce straight from high school. We're going to see all that stuff play out. Hopefully, there's going to be a vaccine and some, treatment and medicine and confidence that inspires people to travel. Because we're going to get to a point here where the psychological effect of what's happening in the economy is going to start putting just more pressure on everything. And what I wanted to end with tonight is something I've been thinking about over the last few weeks. A big part of what I do professionally is managing people and coaching and mentoring different levels of professionals of all experience levels, especially in real estate, but in different fields. And one of the things that is concerning me and what I'm seeing across a lot of my relationships and social media and just kind of culturally is people are afraid to be happy and to celebrate success when there's an undercurrent of, people have lost their jobs and, people are losing their lives, and it's a situation where everything is sad and disrupted, and there's a bunch of things to be upset and stressed and freaked out about. But with that, there's a lot of great stuff going on, and there's a lot of brilliant people doing a lot of great work. And there's a lot of loving people doing a lot of great things, taking care of their families and themselves and their community. And a lot of that gets lost, and we don't see that. And when you do something that's positive and when you do something that you've worked hard for, it's okay to celebrate that, even though the rest of, what you might see on the news could be very sad and there's a lot of unrest and all of that stuff. What's going to get us out of that is positive leadership and people that say, no, we can fix this and we can do this and we can make this work. So do your best every day. And when you do something great, when you accomplish things, don't be afraid to tell the world, hey, I accomplished this. And not in a braggadocious way, but be confident in the fact that you don't have to just hide the positive things in your life because other people are going through hardship. There's hardship every day, just constantly around the world. There's more hardship than there is good. So if you woke up today, today is a blessing. And if you wake up tomorrow, tomorrow is a blessing. So do the best you can. And when you do things that are good, share those with the world. Don't be afraid to put that out there and to share good energy, because the world is only seeing the negative stuff because people are afraid to share what's working or share what's good because they don't want to feel braggadocious when other people might be struggling. I think it's really dangerous for society as a whole to say, like, I'm going to refuse to be happy or proud of myself because what's happening to people as a whole. And I think that that's a beautiful notion, but it's hurting us because we need to be able to be proud of our accomplishments and the work that we're doing and the good things that we're doing, because there's good things happening and it's not all negative. And we're going to overcome everything that's in front of us because that's what we do. Human beings are resilient. And socially, the things that are wrong, we're going to fix over time. and we're going to chip away and we're going to make progress because that's just what we do. So stay positive and remember, it's okay to be happy and it's okay to be successful. And when you find those things in your life, the only thing you owe is to try to share those with as many people as possible in a way to help share that and bring that into their lives. And that's a big part of why the Money School exists to begin with. So thanks for listening to the show. Thanks for supporting the Money School, and have a great rest of your week. I'll talk to you tomorrow.